I'm hopeful. And that doctor is really good. I'd highly recommend her. Um, to anybody because she's very thoughtful.
Nice. Nice. That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind for sure. And how long is your trip? How long are you going to be gone?
Through the 21st.
Okay. Oh, it's
Yeah.
going to be so fun. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Well, the best part is like lucking out for the 20th in Anchorage, which is summer solstice.
Oh, yes.
I'm
Totally.
ready to
I love it.
celebrate.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be so great.
yeah, that's that last day of our trip. So I think that's just a
Perfect
fantastic
way to
way.
finish it. Yes. Yeah, I love that. All right.
Mhm.
Hi, George.
Hi, folks.
So where are you at now? And you're officially lifestyle now, right? Or have been?
Not quite.
Oh,
I'm
you're not?
still 1 pound away from my target goal.
Oh
I'm at
my
211
gosh.
instead of 210. So I got down to 211 though, so I'm getting closer.
That's
Wow.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
so I wanted to ask you though, Angie, I wanted to see that video you were talking about for lifestyle. Where
Uh-huh.
is that on the website? I mean, where is that in my little portal?
So you should have gotten an email saying that it's been unlocked for you.
Oh,
I'll show you. Let me
come on.
just go behind the scenes and pull it up here.
Yeah, I didn't want to do my lifestyle thing until I actually hit the 210. So I still have
Um,
another day or
so you're
two.
you're so close, but you if you were just basing it on the 6 weeks, you would have been in the lifestyle, right? I
I don't, well,
feel like you've been
didn't I start on the
within
20,
six
I start
weeks.
on the 24th, I think, of April. So I think I'm
Okay.
close, but I don't think
Okay.
I'm quite there.
Okay. All right. Let me come back and share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go into transform your health, turn back time. Um,
Come back time.
Here it is. And then all these modules are here and it should be open, it should be unlocked for you. And it's called entering the lifestyle phase.
When I get back from my trip, I probably may try to talk to you a little bit about how I can use that or get into it since I
Yeah. You have
have this from before, but it's all in printouts, right?
you have access to all of this. This is lifetime access. So this is the same way that I just showed you. You can get into it yourself, Melissa. Yeah,
Okay.
it's all there for you. It never goes away.
I
So
just may need a little, but
yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
the
like
lifestyle phase has this little letter from me, and then there's this video that you click on, and it'll take you into kind of a comprehensive video. And then we've got this maintenance phase refrigerator chart that can be a helpful little handy go-to. Um,
that is on my fridge.
okay. And this is the reintroduction schedule. So this shows you for weeks 1 and 2, it's healthy fats. So things like olive oil, avocados, olives, A2 dairy, gluten-free, and gluten-free alcohol. So if you're wanting to have a small glass of wine to celebrate your success, you could do that in the first couple of weeks. And then weeks 3 and 4 are for bringing in legumes and root vegetables. And then the last 2 weeks are for bringing in non-gluten whole grains.
Okay.
So I'm
So
gonna go back. What?
I get there by going to turn back time
Uh-huh.
and then go into that menu and look for my entering lifestyle phase.
Entering the lifestyle phase. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the video is helpful. And then this is
Yeah.
just a little guide that I made for staying gluten free. There are people who feel just fine having some gluten and they maintain all of their goals. But I feel like a lot of times people go back to eating gluten the way that they were eating gluten, and a lot of their issues come back. So
Yeah.
this is just a guide on how to stay gluten free. And then this is the lifestyle kind of food list. So it has your everyday foods, your occasional like weekly foods, your special occasion foods and your never foods. And I have those in quotes because, you know, we're human and we just have to do our best. And sometimes we're not going to be 100%, but just kind of to make that effort. So yeah, so there's a few resources there. I'm going to come back to this schedule and make this a little more comprehensive, more detailed. But do you have any specific questions, George, about getting started in the lifestyle phase?
No,
Okay.
no, I mean, I'm pretty religious about sticking with the program, so. I
Yes,
mean, I'll
you have
stick with
been.
that.
Yeah.
Because I want to get there I mean, my pants fit so much better. I've had to buy some new belts and other things. So that's the fun part about
You can see it
losing
in your
weight.
face. I mean, it's,
Yeah, and thank you. I feel better. And
yeah.
nobody has me using really expensive facial cream now, so should enhance my looks substantially.
Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. But you know, it's true. Like I've had people say, people will say, you have a glow about you now that you didn't have before. And I feel like this whole program is just so detoxifying that everything just, your whole body just starts to look better, feel better.
Well, I
So
feel better, that's for sure.
yeah.
So thanks,
Awesome.
Angie. I have to tell you, thank you, everybody, because when you do this by yourself, it's hard to do
Yeah.
because I can't stay focused. But doing this, I stay very focused. I eat twice a
Awesome.
day. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I'm really used to that now.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know when I was doing it, I was so much more productive because I wasn't finding myself going to the kitchen and
Yeah,
grazing. And, you know, I
right.
was just like, nope, I don't eat until noon. And until then, I'm just focused on work.
That's what I
And
do.
it worked. It was fine. And it's something I need to be, you know, staying on top of. But yeah, having the group. And so I do encourage, like, you know, Melissa has been a great example of this. You know, she's been in the program for over 3 years and she still shows up. And so I think that people showing up to the group coaching is a really good way to stay with the program
I agree.
and to
Well, I'll
remember
do
the
it.
basic tenets of the program and why you signed up for it to begin with. So I would love to see you continue to show up, even if it's not every week, popping in here and there. I think it just helps to keep you accountable.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
thanks,
so
Angie. I mean it too.
yeah, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. I love this part of it. I wish more people would show up for the group coaching because this is really what I love is just the connection and the helping people work through any, you know, kinds of complications or struggles and celebrating, you know, celebrating the huge wins because it's so contagious. Like I feel like when people are doing well, it inspires everybody else. So I love that. So on that note, let's talk about wins and aha moments because we don't want to get away from, you know, the purpose of this, which is really to be celebrating ourselves, celebrating each other, and really cementing those moments of awareness. So does anybody have anything right off the top of their head or as far as a win or an aha moment?
Well, I mean, for me, like, like it is all about I'm trying to, je- um, you know, um, because I'm going with two other people, my cousin and her granddaughter and stuff. It's like, the Alaska thing is all about these Alaska bakes, where it's all you can eat stuff, right? And and so I'm already kind of, it was interesting because I'm like, okay, should I just do it and be done with it when I get back, restart. But but I kind of changed my thinking, and it's like, well, if you don't put it on, you don't have to take it off. How great would summer be, if I came back and had a great time and could also praise myself, give myself a pat on the back for doing well, like going to I can go to the all you can eat and you know really make good decisions. The things that come to mind are they always have at those buffets, they always have the really good, like you said, gluten free. They always have the non-gluten free, buttery, cheesy biscuit,
Mhm.
bread stuff, right?
Yes.
And it's like, setting myself up to say, can I say no to that and just leave it be? And just know that I'm going to be better off if I don't, if I, I don't need that, and really trying to get the conversations in my head about, what I can say to myself, you know, that when it's all there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it comes back to
Mm.
the thing that you said in the very beginning. Food does not define my happiness. This trip is not about food. This is about seeing so many beautiful places and getting to really enjoy a part of the world that you don't get to see often. And like the food is just a small part of the trip. Like it doesn't have to be the center attraction. Um,
Right. And I feel like, also because her granddaughter's 15, I feel like this is a really good opportunity to model for somebody who's got the rest of their life in front of them,
yes.
right? That it can be different than, burgers and fries
Yes.
or as teenagers would do it, or that whole stuff. So, but and it's not preaching to her, but it is modeling for her.
Exactly.
So I'm pretty excited about that. But it's interesting, really catching yourself and saying, oh, I see that. I see that old tape, like
Yes.
that, like, just thinking, oh, all you can eat. They're gonna have those, really delicious, like I said, buttery, garlicky, cheesy breads, because that's
Yep.
what all you can eat buffets have. And it's like, I don't need it. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that to myself, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
you gotta listen to it and not admonish yourself,
Right.
kind to yourself, but be responsible to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And that's sort of what I want to sort of dive into after we all share is just that letting go of old mindsets and old attachments and recognizing, okay, like they somehow did serve me and in some capacity in my life. So I'm not judging myself, I'm not admonishing myself. However, I'm shining a light on it so that I can see that there are these old tendencies, these old belief systems of like, oh, the all you can eat buffet is a source of happiness. Like that's an old belief system that we have to unwire. And but shining a light on it and recognizing how it's not serving us. And then we just begin to create a new narrative. We rewrite that belief. All you can eat buffet will make me feel like garbage.
But I will enjoy the salmon though.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And it's another rewrite. It's like, yeah, like I can walk through the buffet and say no to these things and yes and more please to these things and walk away feeling great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. George, any win? Well, your win is that you're 1 pound away from your goal
Yeah,
weight.
but I got a bigger win than that. I actually was out on a motorcycle ride with my friends on last Saturday, and I thought I'd be more stressed out because these guys all stop at locations on the coast where, the food is heavily fried or deep fried because they get fish and chips and then they get key lime pie and cookies. I mean, this is how they all eat. These are old lawyers that probably have far outlived their usefulness,
Mm,
to society. But we do have fun writing. But I
nice.
wasn't stressed at all. I had a grilled salmon, let's see, for lunch, and then I had a grass-fed beef patty wrapped in lettuce for my dinner, and I felt great.
That's
And they
awesome.
made fun of me, but you know what? I felt really good.
I
And I
love
weigh a lot less
that.
than those guys do, so I like that. So that was a win. I mean, I hate to make a win on the back of somebody else, especially my friends, but I think I referred you out to two of them because
Oh,
I
thank
actually think they
you.
would benefit from that. So that was a win. And then I am
Yay.
close to my 210. We'll see how. I noticed though, if I work out hard, I plateau in my weight loss. And I
Yeah.
think it must be because my body gets stressed out or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yep,
that, I mean, I've watched it happen. So
exactly.
I won't work out as hard today, and I'll probably lose that pound tomorrow. I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's what the lifestyle phase is all about, is just figuring out that balance. You know, we
Yeah.
want to have exercise, we want to work hard, but we do need to recognize, like, if you try to exercise hard, but you're not giving your body the calories it needs for that, it's going to feel stress. So it's all about finding that, you know, giving yourself a little, you know, a little more calorie, a little more healthy fat, more protein. You definitely want to up the protein as soon as you hit lifestyle, because that's going to support what you're trying to do to with your body. And then it'll work with you
I
instead of
mean,
against you.
so eat more than the 6 ounces, like, of
So
protein.
yeah, so when you get into the lifestyle phase, I would like you to be thinking about a pound or a gram of protein for every pound of ideal body weight. Or at the very least trying to get to like 110 grams of protein a day. So that's where you're going to have more with your meals. You'll have to maybe consider having some kind of a high protein snack in between your meals. Maybe start the morning with like protein powder in your coffee, because that's really important for muscle protein synthesis, being able to actually build and maintain muscle late into life. Like, we need to have that.
Do you have like a protocol for protein powder?
I do. I can send one to
Would
you.
you send one to
Yeah.
me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So, what was the because like, like hopefully this, my knee's fixed. And when I come back, well, I mean, I'll
Yes.
start on the trip because I'm gonna be biking and hiking, but when I get back, I really am wanting to do, regular exercise program. Um, and kind of got waylaid because of my knee, but hopefully, like I
Yeah.
said, when I get back, I won't have that problem. So I see working out more regularly. So what was that equation? Like one
One
gram?
1 gram per
Hmm.
pound of ideal body weight.
What's that? What's
So
ideal body weight?
ideal body weight would be whatever weight you generally feel is good for your frame.
Okay.
Yeah. So if
Okay.
you're wanting to lose weight, then the number is less than your current weight. If you're trying to gain weight, then the number is more than your current weight. So
Okay.
and for people who that's, because I mean, I've counseled a lot of people, and this is recommendation from the doctor that I work with. She's based out of Chicago, and she's got a huge functional medicine practice, and it's her recommendation. So I counsel and coach people to get there. And for people who are used to eating like 50 grams a day and their goal is 150, I usually just say, let's start with just trying to get to 80 to 100. So don't just like overwhelm your body by tripling your protein overnight. Kind of just try to gradually work your way up, because
Okay.
that can be a
Yeah,
daunting.
I mean, that's good to know for when, like I said, when I get back and really start doing the regularly scheduled exercise stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll,
I,
and
I have a
you,
question for
yeah.
you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, it was interesting because I actually ran into a situation where because of a bunch of stuff that was going on, I stopped by the co-op and had to get something for the rest of the day of clients because I hadn't had a chance to touch anything. But they had a chicken salad thing, and I I got it. But I what I want to know is, it's interesting because I'd never seen chicken salad that way. I'm not I haven't had chicken salad a whole lot in my life, but they had a chicken salad that had carrots, shredded carrots in it, which I thought was really
I've seen
interesting.
that. Yeah.
I know, yeah, I know you put celery in it, but I know that the mayo part is problematic, right?
So,
If
yes, go ahead. Sorry.
do you and so you know uh, an alternative to that is mustard. But
Hmm.
I was wondering if you had any kind of ideas for, like, how to make, something you could add to make it, stick together, kind of like
For sure. So you're talking about
chicken salad.
yeah, making your own chicken salad. Yeah. So I would just get the avocado oil mayo. There's a couple
Oh,
brands
just
that
get
make
the
it. Yeah.
avocado.
Yeah. So
Yes,
the
I'm
reason,
familiar with that. Oh, I never thought about that. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
So Chosen Foods makes it and Primal Kitchen makes it. And so there's no seed oil.
Right.
It's healthy oil. And so as long as you're okay with eggs, then I would just get that. I always have that in my fridge. And then
Okay.
before I make
Okay.
chicken salad or tuna salad, I just use a little bit of plain Greek yogurt and a little bit of that mayo.
Oh, what is it? What do you do with the
I just
plain
mix
Greek
it with like
yogurt?
plain Greek yogurt and then some of that avocado oil mayo. And then whatever
Okay.
like oregano and thyme and all the yummy seasonings. So yeah, you can totally
Okay.
make that and it would be super good, healthy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would, just to have a few bites of that. Again, I'm trying to really find those kinds of things to help me when I'm, in the office full
Yeah.
day.
That's a
Um,
great one. And
just
you could just have like celery sticks or I think things like that to eat it with too, so that you're just like getting all just veggies and protein.
right, right. Well, and yeah, you put it on the celery stick or wrap it in lettuce,
Or
right?
wrap it in lettuce. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you
Awesome.
get that mayo at like Natural Grocers?
Yep. Yep.
Have you seen
Yep.
it? Okay,
They'll have
I'll
it.
look for it.
Yep. They'll have both. Yeah,
And then how about what do you think of Toby's stuff?
so Toby's has seed oil. I can send you a
Okay.
recipe. In fact, I'll share it in the group. I'll share it in the Facebook
What
page.
is that, Toby?
Toby's
It's
tofu pate.
kind of a soy based. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it tastes great, you know,
It's kind
but
of
I don't
like
know
egg
how healthy it
salad.
is.
It has kind of like it's kind of like a substitute for
Yeah,
egg
like egg
salad for
salad.
vegans. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
But they make
With
it
tofu.
with it's like soybean oil or canola oil in it. So I'll send a recipe.
Okay.
I've made it myself. Yeah.
Great. I like that.
I didn't even think about, yeah, thank you for mentioning the plain Greek yogurt too, because I didn't even think about that. And it's interesting why I didn't think about that because, when I do the ground turkey taco stuff,
Uh-huh.
that's what
Put that on there, right? Yeah.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so versatile. It definitely subs for sour cream, I think, most of the time. So I use it for a lot of stuff. Um,
So George, just in case you don't know, the way I do tacos is I get the sieta,
see it
which
there.
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
siete, gluten free. The taco or tortilla shells, and then they make a powder, sieta taco powder, and I mix that with ground turkey,
Mm.
and then I use salsa because that's just tomatoes and stuff, and then you can do avocado guac stuff. And then for the sour cream, I instead of sour cream, I use the
Greek
the
yogurt.
Greek yogurt,
That
and
sounds really good.
it is really delicious.
Yeah.
And I put that on top of I use the rice cauliflower for to put as the
I use
base
that
with
a
the
lot.
Hmm.
yeah. It is really delicious. I love eating that because it's filling and it's got all the good stuff in it.
Well, I
Yeah.
have to tell you, my wife made the recipe, the bolognese and spaghetti squash
Oh
recipe.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Isn't that
that's to
good?
die for.
I
I made it too.
know.
That was really good.
I make that
So
one
I
all the
had that
time.
like, I'll have that whenever I can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's delicious. It is really good. It's a staple for me.
Oh, I loved it. So anyway, again, you guys, thank you because I'm learning things that I didn't know really existed before. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
know about this stuff. I really didn't.
Like what? Like just
Like the kinds of food I eat. I really do buy into this notion, though, that I've been controlled by the large food industry because I eat what they produce.
Yeah.
And now I'm not doing that. I'm doing alternative eating, just like I go to acupuncture twice a month. I'm doing my alternative eating every day now, basically. And it's
Yeah.
very, very nice because I feel great. And I'm obviously losing weight, so it can't be bad.
Isn't that so true though? It's like the processed food industry has brainwashed most of America.
Exactly. I mean, we all
And
eat
people just
processed
eat.
stuff.
I mean, they just, and that's it's really sad and really scary. The chronic issues that are plaguing most of our society.
Food
And it's
related.
like,
Yeah.
we should know better, but the processed food industry is they're so darn like just convincing and manipulative.
Yeah.
I mean, they slap something on the label that says keto. And when you look at the ingredients, it's not keto at all. It's got like some kind of starch in it that's a first ingredient. And
Mhm.
people just eat it. They just swallow all this up. They just think, oh, you just have to put one word on the cover and they're just buying it like crazy because they they haven't been taught, how to really read a label and say, is this really keto? If the first
Well, I
And
wanted
ingredient
to ask
I
you though
think
about
potato
that.
that
starch, it's not keto.
I
Well,
think
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was
No, go
gonna
ahead,
say
Mike.
one of the things the big ones for me that kind of really torqued me, and I know we don't, you don't eat gallons of it, but it's like starting to read the labels on spices. Why are you putting sugar in every spice? It's like
Mhm.
what? So I buy as much as I can. I buy organic spices now that just have the spice in it, that I want.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
the added sugar in it. It's like it just doesn't make sense to me. Why if I'm using like a garlic, I don't know, garlic powder, why would you put sugar in that?
Yeah.
And you just start reading these labels on the spices and they've got junk in it that I don't have any need for that. I just want the spice. So I order bulk, organic stuff and I'm happy because that's the only thing that's in it is garlic,
Yeah.
ground up garlic if that's what the spice
Yeah,
is.
it's like we have to train ourselves to not just take things at face value. Like we I mean, and I still make that mistake sometimes. I was looking for some monk fruit that would just be monk fruit, and I thought I found it on Amazon and I ordered it, and sure enough, it came and it was monk fruit and erythritol. And I should have read the fine print because I just wanted plain monk fruit and it said plain monk fruit, but then in the ingredients it had erythritol. And so, we all of us can still be fooled. And so we have to do our due diligence.
Yeah, I agree. And I do that a lot more. I work with a lot of really smart people, I have to tell you. And I know the proof in this is on my rides or in my discussions with my friends. It is amazing to me how much these are guys that did nothing but trial work all their lives, and they were used to proving things. And yet they will require no proof whatsoever about what they put in their mouth. It just really
Right.
amazes the heck out of me.
Yeah.
We had that discussion, and that's why I referred these two guys to you because I actually think if they would sign up with you, they'd do well. They're smart,
Yeah.
they're pretty focused.
I
They
hope
do
they
well.
do. I hope
I
they
do
do. I
too.
would,
I'll ask them when I see them this weekend.
yeah, yeah. And it'd be great if they did it together because then they could support each other.
Yeah, I don't know if you want both these guys at the same time, but
All right, duly noted. Oh, it's funny. Okay, so I love it. Some really good discussion. So wins and aha moments. Have we covered everything?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Okay. So we kind of touched on this a little bit, and I just wanted to, talk about it a little bit more, especially for those who are hopefully watching the replay. Um, because I had this conversation with someone recently, just talking about the things that we have done in the past that served some kind of purpose for us, but it's not really serving us any longer. And we need to be able to let go of those things, but it's sometimes hard to let go because we do think of it as something that was comforting to us at one time. or it gave us some kind of pleasure or something that we needed. And so it's hard for us to let go, and it's hard for us to move on from it and to develop an identity that doesn't have that as a part of it, because we just have this attachment. And so thinking about behaviors in our past, or maybe things that are still with us, and just saying, okay, what does that behavior do for me? Because I like to say there is no self-sabotage. Whatever we're doing, it's serving some need that we have. We are not wired to sabotage ourselves. We are wired for survival. So whatever we're doing, even if it's not healthy for us, in our lizard brain, we're getting something from that. And so kind of peeling back the layers and looking at what benefit is there of this behavior that I really want to stop doing. And then thinking about how can I fulfill that need in another way? And then how can I start to imagine myself as a person who no longer does that? So really that whole identity evolution, like really stepping into a new pair of shoes. Like I am a person who does these things. I'm no longer a person that does that thing. And so something to just to think about. So for instance, my ongoing thing is staying up too late. And then oftentimes, because I'm staying up too late, I end up getting hungry and then I want to eat before going to bed. And it's an ongoing thing for me. And I think because most of the time I'm pretty close to my ideal weight, I use that as justification. It's like, oh, you're doing fine. Your weight's good. You can do this. But it's not really good. It doesn't serve me. It doesn't help me sleep better. It doesn't help me get good metrics on my Aura ring, which I'm a total nerd about. I know the things that make me healthier. And so I need to do that. So it's like, okay, what am I getting out of that? So what is it? And a lot of times it's staying up later. I'm taking that time to do some strength training. So I'm watching a Netflix show and I'm actually doing like squats and lunges and things that I need to do to keep my knees strong for running. Or I'm making jewelry, which is my creative outlet. And I really need that creative outlet. Like it's a part of, just my core soul need. And so, okay, recognize like when are some other times during the day that you can do that? Can you create more structure, waste less time? Because God knows I am not always efficient with my time. And figure out where to put those things so that you can go to bed at a reasonable hour and not snack before bed. So just kind of winding, pulling things back and looking at, how can you set yourself up for success? And then just kind of saying like putting on a new costume, as if you're like, I'm going to be this person now that goes to bed at 9 and I'm going to practice this role, kind of like role playing and trying, we call it acting as if, and just acting as if I'm a person that makes bedtime a priority. So these are just some ideas and thoughts about identity evolution. So do you guys have any examples in your own life of like a habit that you used to do that you really want to try to not go back to?
Well, I snacked. I mean, I used to snack after dinner.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that was kind of routine.
Yeah.
But I haven't done that since I started the program, and I don't
Right.
miss it a bit. Because
Right.
after I eat my dinner, I'm done. And
Yeah.
I don't have any, and I stay up late because I like to just kind of unwind and relax, and so that's
Mhm.
how I kind of do it.
Yeah.
But I don't get hungry.
And that was the same for me. But what I found is over time, after I, finished the program and I was, months and years out, some of those habits that were with me for most of my adult life, were like, oh, 6 weeks is nothing. We've been with you for years. So you think you like are
Yeah.
like, out of the woods here, but we've got years of habitual training on you. And so they sometimes they will start to kind of creep back. And so it's important to kind of have that awareness of, okay, what is it why am I doing this? What is it offering me? Is it it comes also back to like that mindful and intuitive eating. Is my inner hedonist? Like just like there hasn't been enough throughout my day where I've really been able to stop and just be in the moment and experience pleasure. because I'm just, everything I'm doing in multitasking. You know, like I didn't stop and eat my lunch and really enjoy it outside without working, or, you know, it's like we have to give ourselves these moments of pleasure, because if we find in the evening, oh, I just want to enjoy some chocolate now, like that's our inner hedonist saying we haven't had enough joy today. There hasn't been enough pleasure. So we want to experience that pleasure of, you know, chocolate on the tongue or whatever. So, or the inner child, you know, I feel like I feel stressed. I feel like I'm not getting support. I feel alone, and this is going to make me feel better. Or the inner rebel, you know, this day has been chaos. I feel like I've completely lost control. I just need to like feel like I'm in control, and I'm going to push back against rules. So I'm going to just eat the dang chips or whatever. So these are just these inner, you know, inner parts of ourselves, right?
Hmm.
So recognizing which part of myself is acting on a need, and how can I identify that need and fulfill it in a way that's not me grazing on stuff after dinner. Does that all make sense? So you guys with
Yeah.
me in this? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, this is not a habit per se, that to recognize, but uh, what I am kind of struggling, what I'm struggling with right now is the days getting longer.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is I will not, I try to eat and be done eating by like 6:30.
Mhm.
It's been my, habit, so that I get that, I'm not eating till 7:30
Mhm.
the day. So that's, full 12 hours or
Yeah.
whatever, which I feel is important, right? It's that
Mhm.
kind of
Yeah.
intermittent fasting type
Yeah.
thing. But what's happening is, it seems like it came on really quick, like the days were really short, and then all of a sudden they're like really long.
Yeah.
And so, like five or six will roll around, it's still really light. And so my mind is like, I'm not thinking about being hungry. I'll go out and do more stuff that needs
Yeah.
to get up eating at 8:30 at night, right?
Yeah.
And and um I've become aware of that, and then I'm upset, because it's like, God, this is eating really late, and I'm not getting my 12 hours in, and that kind of thing. um Rather than trying to recognizing, okay, I need to stop, even if I may not feel like um like I have an appetite, I'm ready for dinner. I need to stop and take the time to make dinner, so that I don't run the clock out till way late.
Yeah.
um
And I mean, I think we have to have some grace with ourselves in that situation, because it's true. Like when the days get longer, we are going to be more productive. We're going to want to do more. We're going to want to be out doing things in the yard, and doing, you know, home improvement stuff, and all of that's really good. And it's like, you know, it is ancestral when you think about it. Like our ancestors were more productive when the days were longer. You know, they were out, you know, growing and harvesting um and you know, hunting for berries and all those things when the days were longer. So as we should be too. It's you know, it's totally fine, and that's actually living in circadian rhythm. And that brings me to a whole nother point, which is when we are operating within the circadian rhythm of nature, everything's going to work better, because that's just we are connected to nature. We are natural beings. So we should be living in accordance with nature. And I have found that some of my best numbers on my Aura Ring are when I am actually out in my yard, touching the ground, weeding, you know, interacting with nature, until the sun goes down. And we actually digest our food better when we are eating it in natural light. So if you have the opportunity to get away from artificial light and actually go to where you can sit outside and have natural light, there's actually benefit to our body's ability to digest food and assimilate that food. I mean, it's just we're so intertwined with nature, and we need to have that natural light. We need to connect with the sun. We need to, I mean, I'll go out with bare feet and sit in my grass with the sun on me while I'm eating my lunch. And if I was working, I would go out in front of the hospital where there's like a lawn and picnic tables, and I would take my shoes off and put my feet in the grass and eat. And I tell people, just be the weirdo that goes outside and takes your shoes off and walks around in whatever patch of lawn you can find, or even just feet on the dirt. There's so much benefit to us being connected to the earth and connected to the sun. So, so I think that brings that. I'm glad you brought that up, because I think we need to remember, like, things are going to evolve with the seasons. And if we're eating dinner a little later in the summer, that's fine. Our ancestors did too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, in my trip here coming up, the sun won't set
It won't
till
even
like
set. Yeah.
yeah,
Right. Just party
2,
all night.
yeah, 2 a.m. in the morning or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that'd be crazy. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing, right? I mean, it's just like how do the people who live in climates or in places in the world like that, where they have, like, light 24 hours and then dark at the other side of things. Like, that's a whole nother thing. I don't really know how that works, but
but yeah, I have been noticing that, just like I said, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, it's 8:30, and it's like, okay, guess we better eat dinner, because yeah, I want to, and it is the outside stuff, right?
yeah, yep.
And out in the yard that's taking my attention away
Yeah.
from hungry, or thinking
Yeah.
about
Well,
that.
and that's just like your body is getting energy from the earth, from the natural light. So it's like that's why you're not feeling hungry. And I feel like the more time that people can spend outside, the less they're going to have unnecessary hunger cues. I think we really are just in general eat less when we get access to the sun. And there's research to back that up. There's science that backs that up. Like, we just don't feel as hungry because our body's getting that energy.
Okay.
So it's lovely that you're doing that. It's perfect. It's exactly what you should be doing. Yeah. So other questions or any comments about this whole area of behavior change, identity evolution? If not, we can wrap up. But I want to plant the seed so that as things come up, it's something for you to just kind of consider. Because it's bound to, I'm just going to say, like, it's bound to, and especially when you get into situations with people who have known you your whole life and still have some of those old behaviors. Like, when I get together with my family, there's just snacks out constantly. There's always an open bottle of wine, and the previous version of me would have been constantly grazing and drinking way too much wine. And I don't do that now, but it's definitely been something I've had to reckon with. And I've had to kind of go through that inner dialogue of, what's really most important to me, and how am I going to feel tomorrow? Even last night, I was sharing with a friend. I had a really long day of coaching, and it's been a good week, and it's like I've had some things that I feel really good about. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a small glass of wine and some cheese, because that's not a habit that I do regularly anymore, although I used to do it every single night. And I was like, it's a special occasion. I'm celebrating some things, and I had a really busy day, and so I'm going to do this. And I felt like crap afterward. I just felt like tired and not, like, no motivation, and kind of even borderline depressed. And it's just like, this is a good lesson for me. This is why I don't like to have wine that often. It lowers my level of motivation and drive. And I was a slug the rest of the day, the rest of the night. And normally I'm like making jewelry and doing my strength training. And I just like wanted to sit on the couch and just like completely veg. I was just like a total depressed person just from that one glass of wine. It doesn't do anything for any of us, truly. And it doesn't help us sleep better. It's fine once in a while, but I encourage people to just be really paying attention, because when you go through this program and you clean everything up and then you bring some of these things back, you will notice that it hits you differently. And it is not the same as it used to be. And so just really pay attention to what your body's telling you when these things happen, and no guilt, no shame, no beating yourself up, just being truly aware of what is the feeling that I have after making this choice, so that I can use that information to make choices in the future that maybe will serve me better.
So I do have one question along those lines in terms of oats. And
Uh-huh.
I think I've asked about this before, but I just really wanted to clarify. Um, like what is, because I know I think you've said in the past that eating oats can spike your blood sugar. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So oats, I mean, it's if you're having just like a sprinkling of oats and something, it's probably fine. But if you're having like a bowl of oatmeal, that is
Mhm.
going to really spike your blood sugar.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any way you can prevent that, or it's just the way it works?
Yeah, even if you have it with like some fat, like if you were to put like some half and half in it, and or some nut butter, it just seems like it's just such a huge load of carbohydrate that nothing really, it's just in my experience checking blood sugars of people who had oatmeal for breakfast versus having like eggs and veggies, the oatmeal was spiking their blood sugar to like 250 or 300. The eggs and veggies, it was like maybe 150 max.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's just not, I mean, it's funny because we have been told for decades that oatmeal is like the best thing we can eat in the morning, and it's full of fiber and it's so good for your heart. It is not. Truly,
Mhm.
like it is a huge carb load, and the only time that it would be good for you, and I tell people like it's not, don't like throw it out completely, but it would be something to have if you were going to eat it and then put on your backpack and go hike for 4 or 5 or 6 miles. So like I'll take oatmeal as a backpacking fuel, and I'll have that in the morning before I'm going to spend the day hiking.
Well, and that's kind of, yeah, so that's an interesting point because, if you are going to take some, like a bar, one of the bars, energy bars or whatever, to go hiking with or whatever, a lot of those, because they're gluten free, the two kind of, again, ingredients is the brown rice
Right, brown rice syrup. Hmm.
or oats.
Yeah. So there are definitely better options. That's another thing. They're in the module in Practice Better called Navigating Travel, Holidays, and Social Situations. There is in fact, I can show you. There is there's a presentation that has my recommended like protein bars.
Okay,
Um,
good.
so let's see. Travel food options. So here are some bars that are cleaner. So like the RX bars, they're dates, so they're gonna have some effect on your blood sugar, but dates are actually low glycemic. I can eat dates and it does not spike my blood sugar, the same as any kind of grain would. Um,
Great.
Paleo Valley, and then Designs for Health. And if you do Designs for Health, um, ask me for I'll share, I can share the code anyway, but it's, this paleo bar is really, really good. And it's got allulose, which is actually supposed to have beneficial, effect on your blood glucose. And you get 20% off in my dispensary. If you
What's the deal with tapioca syrup? Is,
So
is
this one, the tapioca syrup is low. It's like it's below the allulose, and so it's really a very small amount. I'm not
okay.
sure why they need it in here, but if you see tapioca syrup like in the first 3 ingredients, then it's probably not good. But this is like even lower than allulose. So
Got
yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, these other ones are all very reasonable. And then so these are paleo. So these are there's no dairy in these. But if
Uh-huh.
you don't have any issue with dairy, these whey protein bars are actually really good. So whey is a dairy protein. And
Okay.
I've tried the marigold bars. They're really yummy. I haven't tried Keon, but I like the guy who is the head of that company. I follow him a lot.
Okay.
And then for people who are vegan, there's vegan bars.
Yeah.
Um, and
Okay.
yeah, so there's
Good
options.
information.
Yeah, I'll take these 3 pages and I can share them in the Facebook group. And Melissa, would it be helpful for me to send these to you as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too, Angie. I'd
Okay.
like to get that.
And George, you're in the Facebook group, right?
No, I don't do really Facebook. I'm not really adept at that.
Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking that you joined.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing for like long flights, airport layover stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll take these, I'll go find them and take them out of the whole big presentation. I mean, there's the whole presentation is actually really good to watch. Like I would encourage watching it. So there is a video where I go through it, and then these are just all of the slides. Well, you guys have this holiday cookbook, so this is also a good thing to know about because there's really good holiday recipes. But yeah, these slides I go through and with the whole presentation. So I would watch that.
Great. Great. Thank you. Yeah, that's really good.
Definitely. Absolutely. Okay. So anything else?
Oh, thanks, Angie. Thanks, Melissa. I appreciate it.
Thanks for all
Always
the
interesting to
info.
listen to.
Good job, George.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
almost there. Not quite, but almost.
Oh my gosh, you are basically there. You crushed
Yeah,
it.
pretty close. I should be there in the next couple of days max. But I'm
Well,
working out tonight, so I'll try to keep it, kind of a low energy workout.
yeah, yeah. Just don't push it.
Yeah, I will.
All right. Well, way to go. And Melissa, I'll see you on Zoom tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll see you here when I get back.
Yeah, because you won't
Have a
be on
nice
our,
trip.
yeah, you'll leave next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Take
All right.
care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.